Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome back for episode 5. It is day 14, so I'm only 9 days behind in my 30 days plan. So Christmas gets in the way, it does that. And on that note, I hope you all had a good one. I have some exciting news to share from the big red man himself. It is the Olympus 100 to 400 mil 5.3 to 6 point, I've got that wrong, IS lens. Isn't it beautiful? It is nicely weighted, satisfyingly heavy, smooth. God, it is a beauty, isn't it? What do we think? Yes, so there will be a review of that coming soon. I have not tried it out yet, aside from getting up on my roof and trying to take a picture of the moon. So I will cut that into the video and onwards. So today I am going to be editing one of my drone videos from the snowy landscape that I had up in Hunter before Christmas to get the parallax effect, which is where you zoom. So the video is taken with my drone moving forward through a landscape. I'm going to reverse that video so my drone is moving backwards, and at the same time zoom in on the video, or out on the video, whichever way it goes, to gain the perspective that the camera is standing still and the landscape is shortening by changing the focal length without... I'll talk through it in Photoshop, in Premiere, because it is a very interesting, very dramatic effect and not terribly complicated. So here you go. So disclaimer before I get started: once again forgot to record audio in time with my video, so this is going to be scrappy at best, but bear with me as I'm showcasing all of my errors. We have started in Premiere Pro with my DJI video file dragged into the import window, drag and drop onto the timeline, and I can accelerate to where I have my isolated the video clip that I'm trying to use. You need to cut your video at the start and end of the clip that you want, like so. Drag, delete the rest, delete before and after, and we can skip to where my video effects are taking place. So editing or effects tab, click on the video in the timeline and move to the upper left corner where you can see scale written. Click on the little stopwatch beside scale. That will activate the keyframes and the variable in the timeline. So what we'll do is, let me move forward again. So move the blue cursor forward or backwards back to the very start and click the little blue dot between the arrows of scale. Then drag the blue cursor to the end of the video, create another blue dot, otherwise known as a keyframe. These are points in time that hold information, and in this case the 1.4 is going to have a small scale, the one that at the end is going to have a large scale, and simply by playing with these scales, say we start at 100% and we zoom up to 290 as my final values dictated, those numbers are going to be totally dependent on the scenery, on the video you've taken at the speed your drone is moving forward and backwards in the air. So ultimately mine goes from 100 to 293, I think. And among other issues, not only did I forget to record audio, or somehow mistakenly not record audio, I exported from my screen recorder, which is OBS 26.1.0, just very useful free software for recording screens. I also exported from that software in the wrong format and had to use an MKV converter to change that format into an MP4 before I could use that in Premiere Pro. So without further complaining and whinging and wasting of people's time, here is my finished video. Voila. And that's that, simple as. So, quick tutorial, quick overview of what the issues that I encountered in my first time following that little tutorial. Keyframes and their application and uses, and they're surprisingly intricate. There's a lot more to those, and you can easily change settings accidentally that will just send you spiraling into no man's land. I've often had to delete the footage from the import window and drag it in from scratch because, well, not that far back, but I've had a lot of rework to do because of accidentally changing settings on the keyframes that I couldn't figure out and couldn't recover from. Yeah, taking the footage as well needs to be done consciously. You need to be moving at a constant rate, constant height. You don't want those branches close to your lens, obviously. Well, that's pretty straightforward knowledge as a drone pilot. But as to the video effect, you want the landscape to be distant, far clear at sight, because those branches obviously moving through my frame and into my vision, because they were so close, they take up so much more of the area of the screen. It really takes away from the gravity of the effect. So, with that said, was there anything else? Just being more consistent in the videos. I could probably fine tune the zoom ratios a little bit more if I knew what I was doing, which clearly I'm working on. I will try that again when I find maybe a lake with shores on both sides and a mountain and a skyline in the distance with waves on the water and whatnot would be a much more friendly, so to speak, photo to apply that effect to. So until I find a lake, thanks for tuning in. Episode 5, episode 6 I will try and put up today, so I'm only 8 days behind on day 14.